Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're a new visitor to Sci-Finatics, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all sci-fi TV news on YouTube. So today we're talking a little bit about what we might be up for in Season 4 of Star Trek Discovery. Obviously Season 3 has just concluded, but there have been a few little interviews that have come out recently from executive producers, and I had a bit of a chat with Doug Jones last week, which went fantastically, and I encourage you, if you have not seen that interview between myself and Doug Jones, to click on the link up here and check that out. But we're going to talk about a few little bits of speculation, what we might expect for Season 4, and a few more concrete rumours about Saru and all the other cast members and characters and what we might expect in Season 4 of Discovery. So at the end of Season 3 saw Michael Burnham in command of Discovery. Saru has gone off to Kaminar, he's helping Su'Kal settle in, and it seems like that Saru is definitely going to be much more involved in what is going on Kaminar. It's been a while since he's been there.
I end up, really having this, again, that tether to home and wanting to help Su'Kal find his way. And it was also a chance for Saru to go home. I think he's been missing Kaminar, and he's been missing his homeworld and his people. And his customs and all the things that he missed. He'll lap that up for a while. He has captain rank with Starfleet. He worked very hard to get that. He made that his life's mission. I think we're seeing a wrestle between this allegiance to home and his new allegiance to Starfleet that for the second half of his life. So he's not going to give up either one, I don't think. So I think that Season 4, we're going to see how he balances those two things together.
It could be a little bit into the season before we see Saru again, with Burnham and the rest of the crew off doing their thing. And one of the reasons I'm inclined to believe this is that Discovery started shooting Season 4 around November, I think it was, or might have been December of last year. However, when I was talking to Doug Jones just the other week in my interview with him, he was actually in hotel quarantine in Toronto, and he was in the first of 2 weeks where he just had to hang out at the hotel and wait until he could get back into shooting. So it seems like potentially the other cast members might already have started shooting, a month prior or so, and the Doug's only just starting to shoot now. It seems we might not see Saru in the first couple of episodes of Discovery, but when we do see Saru, it's no doubt that in Season 4 he's got a pretty interesting journey ahead of him. He's obviously going to be torn a lot between his duties as a Starfleet captain and doing some bits and pieces on Kaminar, it would seem. And it also seems like that, going from what Doug was talking to me about in my interview with him, that a little bit of romance might be on the cards for his character in Season 4 for Discovery, in the form of the president of Ni'Var, T'Rina, I think her name was. There was definitely some little sparks, some little, little moments there between Saru and T'Rina during Season 3, and it does seem like that they might expand upon that a bit more in Season 4.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. Did you see his interactions with President T'Rina of Ni'Var, formerly Vulcan?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's our little walk and talk down the hallway, and our getting to know each other a little bit, and in our goodbye scene when Saru asked her many things to consider with Ni'Var, the Vulcan people rejoining the Federation. But in the meantime, I would like to continue our conversations. And she said, I would like that too. So that was a moment of like, really? Yeah. So, and I think if anybody could romantically entice Saru, it would be a Vulcan. That makes perfect sense. Very prim and proper, very poised, very vocabularied, very intelligent. All the things that would attract Saru, of course.
Going by the final scenes of Season 3, there's definitely some animosity there between Burnham and Stamets, with Stamets being quite not very happy with Burnham after she put him in an escape pod field and shot him out into space to get him off the ship. And he was obviously, very concerned about Adira and Culber and so forth, and what they were doing in the nebula. But everything worked out. Nobody died. So So hopefully Stamets gets over this animosity that he's got towards Burnham, because he wasn't too impressed with her at the end of the last season. So I'm guessing that season 4 is going to see a bit more of a evolution of this relationship and this potential bad blood that we saw in season 3 at the end there. It'll be interesting to see how Tilly's growth evolves in season 4. She's obviously taken that role of first officer on board the Discovery during season 3. And it would seem like at the end of season 3, she's gone back to her regular duties again. So with Saru off on Kaminar and Burnham now in the captain's chair, I think it potentially leaves a void open for a new character to come into the show. And the question is, who is going to be the new first officer on board the Discovery under Burnham? I would think that role would most logically be filled by somebody from 32nd Century Starfleet. I really think Tilly's job in the captain's chair maybe didn't go quite as well as it could have gone, with her losing the ship to Osira and the Emerald Chain. So maybe somebody who is in fact a bit of a higher rank to begin with, maybe somebody who's already a lieutenant commander or a commander from Starfleet, can step in and take over the role there, and that would be a very interesting dynamic. I know there's been very successful episodes of Star Trek in the past where we've had a new first officer step into that role, most notably Commander Shelby in the Best of Both Worlds two-parter in Next Generation. She was a great character, and also added a bit of spice and a bit of confrontation and conflict to the dynamic. So hopefully there'll be a similar character step into the role there in Discovery for season 4. The romantic relationship between Book and Burnham is one that, I think they're going to expand upon quite a bit in season 4. We've obviously had the beginnings of that and the evolution of that in season 3, and we're going to see how that is going to evolve, and also whether now Book is going to sort of take over some of the driving of the spore drive, and it's not going to be all Stamets' responsibility, and also whether or not they start to use the spore drive technology on other Federation starships, whether they can replicate that, and maybe then they can get other people from Book's planet who have that connection with nature and so forth to take on the role of learning how to operate a spore drive. But that might not be necessary, because as we know, that big fat planet in the middle of the nebula that's full of dilithium that Su'Kal was on is being mined substantially, and I'm sure that they're passing out dilithium like lollies and candies to all of the different Federation worlds. It's like, come on board, come back to the Federation, here's some dilithium, everybody gets dilithium. I think that's maybe how it's going to go. One interesting thing that Book said at the end of season 3, which I think is one element that calls for more talk, is the fact that when Book was hooking himself up to the spore drive, he referred to himself in the third person and said, "I never told you about my mentor, by the way, Cleveland Booker. I'll tell you the story if we survive this. Point being, I try to live up to the name every day." This person who we are seeing, this person who's connecting with nature, this person who can glow in the forehead and make animals do what they want and everything, this is somebody who has assumed the form, perhaps, of somebody who was formerly known as Cleveland Booker, but maybe isn't actually Cleveland Booker. It seemed a bit odd to me that he referred to himself in the third person like he was speaking about somebody else. So I wonder whether this weird ability that Book has, whether he's been, taken over by some sort of, kind-hearted alien, or whether there's more to his abilities, and whether he is in fact Cleveland Booker, or whether he is an alien who has assumed the form of Cleveland Booker. Because the way he phrased this little message to Burnham at the end of the last season led me to believe, well, you don't talk about yourself in the third person. It seemed a bit weird to me. So I wonder whether there's more to that. The other thing we might see more of in future episodes of Discovery is appearances by the actor Noah Averbach Katz, who played Rin, the Andorian. He obviously is the partner in real life of Mary Wiseman, who plays Tilly on the show. But he is such a huge Star Trek fan, he's expressed interest to step into any other role that they might have going. And it would seem that the Star Trek Discovery people are not shy at doing this. We've had a couple of examples in the past where actors such as Kenneth Mitchell, who previously played a number of different Klingons on the show, obviously stepped in season 3 to play the role of Aurelio, who was Osara's chief science officer. And obviously we've also had the actress who played Oz Nullis, nicknamed Octopus Head. She stepped in at the end of season 3 to play this new lieutenant who just kind of appeared on the bridge out of nowhere all of a sudden. And we never really got a proper send-off for Octopus Head. I think Octopus Head might have died at the in the whole crash or something on the planet, but they never really gave Octopus Head too much more of a mourning process or a funeral or anything. It's just, poor old Octopus Head, Asnullis, she's dead, and somebody else is coming on. So it would seem that the Discovery crew are not in any way shy of bringing in past actors who were heavily made up to perform other roles on the show. So I'm guessing we might see Noah Averbach-Katz in another role in the future of some kind in Discovery. But one thing is for sure that a lot of our favourite Star Trek shows now, with Discovery and Picard and Strange New Worlds, they're all shooting at the moment. It seems like we've got Discovery shooting season 4, we've got Strange New Worlds shooting season 1, and we've got Picard about to start shooting season 2 at the start of February. Now, based on the fact that the general sort of turnover from shooting to broadcast is somewhere in the vicinity of maybe kind of 9 months or so, give or take, it could well be October or September, October, or even November of this year before we get one of these shows back on our TV sets for this year. I think in terms of our Star Trek fare for 2021, that we're most likely to get Star Trek Lower Deck Season 2 and Star Trek Prodigy Season 1. Think those shows that are all probably done remotely with people animating them on their computers, and then all they have to do is get the actors into a voiceover booth at home even to voice their parts. I think those two shows are most likely to be the ones we'll be getting this year, and it might well be towards the last quarter of this year before we see one of our other shows on air. What do you guys think might be the case for our beloved characters in Season 4 of Discovery? Do you want to see Saru with a bit of romance in the air, perhaps? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and we'll start chatting. In the meantime, guys, please don't forget, as always, to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe, to check out my merch in the merchandise page, and click on the join button to learn all about memberships for Sci-Finatics. It really helps the channel. Do things like get celebrity interviews and all that sort of thing, so I really appreciate all your support. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.